Hey, this is Charles with Historical Gaming, and last night we got a chance to play Dragon Rampant, and I tried to make a scenario using a Game of Thrones type theme here. So what the idea was is where the scenario where the dragon was being attacked by the crossbolt, and the dragon goes on the ground, and the dragon was being rushed, and Jaime Lannister knocks the guy into the water, and the whole thing. So that kind of seemed like a little one-on-one type action, and even a one player versus one player. And originally we were scheduled to have six. So basically, what we ended up doing was getting some crossbolts and some catapults. And on the left, we have four dragons and 4 foot units. We also have 6 units of knights, a unit of bows, and a unit of crossbows. The mounted cavalry was really fun to play because they are the best against the dragons, but of course the dragons like to knock them out right away, and they went out pretty early in the game. The catapult rules and the crossbolt rules I found in Dragon Rampant, the Skirmish Fantasy Game Facebook group. And I really liked the way they attack, but the defense didn't make much sense, and when units had to retreat from their position, it didn't really make sense how a crossbolt and a catapult could actually retreat from battle and stuff. So basically, we just made up a rule where the guys who were manning it ran away, and that if they ran back to the unit, they could attack again. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed this system. If you're not familiar with the system, basically each unit will decide, in general, to do a move, shoot, or attack. Moving, you roll 2 dice, and each unit has a specific type of value associated with it. So if a unit is geared towards moving, like a horse, it's going to be lower on the activation. If the unit is geared towards fighting, it's going to be lower for activation for fighting and things like that. So you got to decide who you want to move, who you're more likely to pass or fail, and how that's going to work out for you. So if you move, you roll 2 dice and pass your activation check. If you shoot, you roll 2 dice and you pass or fail your activation check, and then you fire. And then if you attack, you move, and then you move up to the enemy, and then you attack. And then each attack, either shooting or attacking, you roll 12 dice, and then you calculate the hits based on the type of unit. And then each unit that you're attacking has a armor value. So you take the total number of hits and divide it by the armor value, and that's how you count how many strength points that unit loses. If that unit loses a strength point, it has to do a courage check, and basically checks to see whether he runs away battered, or if he just backs off, or who wins the battle, basically. And after that's done, you move on to the next unit, and you do your choice of moving, firing, or attacking. So it's a lot of fun. You can have leaders in the game. So last night, since we were doing multiplayer, we had 4 counters. And we basically drew random activation, 1, 2, 3, 4, assigned it to each player, and decided who went next on that. We also gave each group of guys a leader, and that leader rolls at the beginning of the game 2 dice and is consulted against the leader traits table. And so we had one guy who was a poor leader, and he lost 1 die on every type of attack. We also had a guy who was strong, and he got to re-roll any dice for an attack or defense. So that was kind of cool as far as how the leaders affected the game. And it worked out pretty well. So hope you get a chance to play. It's really easy to make up scenarios. The bricks or the castles in the game were Hobby Lobby bricks. They're just glued together and spray painted gray. The catapults and the crossbolts came from Hobby Lobby in the Alexander miniature set. So the Alexander miniatures are about 54 millimeter, or probably even bigger. But the catapults and crossbolts were perfect for the game. I spray painted those brown and then touched them up with some paint, and they looked pretty good. The flames in the game are basically pillow batting that has been painted orange and yellow, and we use that for the fire. And then I attach them to the balls on the catapult to make it look like a little flaming attack. You can use the catapults as an attacking weapon. You can knock down walls. So you can't really see the walls in the position of the game here, but we had walls up in between with gaps so the troops could get through. If I'd given the other guys some catapults, they could have knocked down the walls and just had a good time trying to get through. And again, in the Facebook group that I mentioned earlier, they have some special rules for all kinds of good things. So I hope you have a good time watching this video. We really had a good time playing the game, and it's a lot of fun. Nights are always kind of interesting aspect for me because I'm usually more historical, but dragons and knights of course are historical, and so I hope you get a chance to get the book. It's about $12 from Amazon, and thanks for watching. Take care.